Hi, grade 12s. Welcome back to this video. We're going to take a look at question 11 in this question paper. They tell us that in the diagram below, they give us two graphs. They give us y, which is the derivative of f of x. They also tell us that -1/2 and 5 are the x-intercepts of the first derivative. And then they also give us the y-intercept of the first derivative. And we can see that's all indicated on the diagram. We can also see that this is a negative parabola. So if it's a negative parabola, then we would also have a negative cubic function, which was the original f of x. So if the first derivative is a parabola, then the original function is a cubic function. In the first question, it says determine the value of x for which f is increasing. So to figure out where f is increasing, we need the stationary points or the turning points of the original cubic function, because that would give us a very clear indication of where the graph was increasing and decreasing. So if this was a cubic function, the original f of x, then the x-intercepts of the first derivative that we see on the diagram would also be the x values of the stationary point. Now, because this would have been a negative cubic function, it would be decreasing. And we've said in previous videos that when it's a decreasing graph, we start from the top left and we draw downwards. So our shape would look something like this. It would turn there by that x-intercept, and then it would have turned by that x-intercept going down. So that's more or less how our function would look. And then this stationary point's x value is still -1/2. And then the stationary point's x value over here would be 5 and something. So we can clearly see that between the two stationary points, that is where our graph is increasing. So to figure this out, I always ask myself, am I drawing upwards or downwards if I start from the left? So if we were to start from the left where I began to draw the graph, then we could see we are drawing in a downwards direction. So that's decreasing. And then from the stationary point to the next stationary point, we are drawing upwards, that is increasing. And then after the last stationary point, we are again drawing downwards from left to right. So it is increasing between the two stationary points. So we would then write it like this. We do not include the stationary points because at the stationary points, the function or the gradient is 0. It's not increasing or decreasing. Only before and after the stationary points does it go from increasing to decreasing. So at the stationary points, it's standing still. The next part of this question asks us to determine the value of x for which the second derivative is equal to 0. Now, a very big problem that we have here is we don't have an equation of the original graph of f of x. We also don't have the equation for the first derivative, the parabola. We do have enough information to calculate that, but this question only counts 1 mark, which means there should be a shorter way or a quicker way, which there is. If we can find the x value of the turning point of this parabola or the first derivative, then that would be the same x value that we would find when we equate the second derivative to 0. So to get the x value of the turning point, we can just calculate the average or halfway between the two x-intercepts. So for the turning point x value, we are literally just going to say x of the first x-intercept plus x of the second intercept divided by 2. And then that would be -1/2 plus 5, everything divided by 2. When you type this into your calculator, it would probably be best to just use brackets like this and then type in divide by 2, just to make sure that the way you are typing it into your calculator is correct. And then once you do that, then this x value that we want for the second derivative or for the point of inflection would be 9/4. And if you want to write that in decimal values, you can, 2,25. and that's it. For question number C, it now says determine the equation of the tangent to the curve of f at this specific point. Now, for the tangent, we need the first derivative so that we can substitute this x value into the first derivative, because that is going to give us the gradient of the tangent. Our tangent has an equation of y equals mx plus c, because the tangent would be a straight line. Now, it is quite easy to figure out the c value, because 0 and 9 is a y-intercept, so that means plus 9 in the place of the c value. And now we just need the gradient. Now, if the first derivative was or is a parabola, then we would have had ax squared plus bx and then plus c. But in this case, they do give us the y-intercept, which is 5/2. If the x value is 0, we would sub in 0 into this first derivative. And once we do that, we can then get the gradient of the tangent. So that just leaves us with 5/2, because everything else is multiplying by 0. And then we've got the gradient of our tangent, and we already have the y-intercept. And then the last question, for which value or values of x is the first derivative divided by 2x smaller or equal to 0? Now, for me to solve this, I know that smaller or equal to 0 means a negative answer. And then I ask myself, what divided by what would give me negative? So a positive value divided by a negative value would give me a negative, and it could be swapped around. So I'm looking for places where the one part is positive or above the x-axis, and where one part is negative or below the x-axis. So the first derivative is fine because we do have that on the diagram. The bottom part, what this means is actually the x-axis. So we're going to go back to the diagram. And we are going to put our focus on these x-intercepts, because that's where the graph would change from above the x-axis to below the x-axis. Now, if we start from the left-hand side, this is the negative side of the x-axis, and our graph is negative or below the x-axis up until this point over there. Then our graph goes to the positive side of the y-axis. It's above the x-axis, but our x-axis is still negative. So that's definitely one part of our answer. Once we pass the origin, we can see that the graph is now positive, 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 and the x-axis is also positive until we reach this x-intercept at 5. From 5 onwards, the x-axis remains positive, but our graph lies below the x-axis or together with the negative part of the y-axis. So that is also one of our answers. So our answers is between the first x-intercept and the origin, and then the second answer is from the second x-intercept onwards. So let's go and write that out. So we said our first answer is where it lies between 0 and -1/2. And we can only include the -1/2. And then our second answer would be where it is greater than 5 and also equal to 5. And that's it for this question.